the previous part you saw, in 2009, on the east coast of Africa, the terror of Somali pirates at its absolute peak. Navigating through this treacherous shipping lane was a massive American cargo ship, Alabama. The command of the vessel was in the hand of the highly practical and experienced Captain Richard Phillips. Sensing the approaching danger on the radar, Richard used his sharp presence of mind and a brilliant bluff, pretending to call in a Navy gunship to successfully save their ship from the pirates in the initial attack. But the young leader of Somali pirates, Muse, was not a man who accepted defeat. The very next morning, he returned with double the firepower, a twin-engine boat, and a long boarding ladder. Despite the ship blasting water cannon and numerous security protocols, luck betrayed the crew. The moment host number 7 ripped from its mount, a fatal gap opening in their water sail, and the pirates successfully breached the ship. Now on the bridge of the Alabama, Captain Phillips and Muse are standing face to face for the very first time. The barrels of their guns are raised, and this is where the real war begins. Not a war of bullets, but a war of the mind. The tension inside the bridge is so thick you can feel it in the air. The cold steel of AK-47 barrels points from every direction, and standing right in the center is Muse, surveying the entire bridge like a conquering king. His eyes dart across the navigation screens and complex machinery. Captain Phillips appears perfectly calm on the outside, but inside his head, a single relentless calculation is running. He has to buy time. He needs to stretch the clock at any cost, because he knows the true power source of the ship, that is his crew. He is still free. Soon the victorious thrill on Muse's face begins to fade. He senses that something is terribly wrong, because down below a crew member has cut the ship's slide. Muse screams at the top of his lungs. Where is everyone else? Where is the crew? Only 3 or 4 people on such a big ship. Muse was expecting dozens of men on their knees with their hands raised in surrender. Phillips deliberately entangles him in technical jargon, sometimes blaming a power failure, sometimes a system crash. Phillips knows that the longer a pirates wander around searching for the crew, the more time the men hiding below will have to set their trap. Meanwhile, in the pitch black depth of the ship's lowest level, the engine room, the ship engineer and his crew are highly active. They have completely blocked the all commands coming from the bridge and shut down the ship's main system. From the bridge, it looks like the pirates have conquered the vessel, but in reality, all they captured is a lifeless iron shell. A true heartbeat of the ship is still in the hands of the crew. Muse takes his men and heads down into the belly of the ship to search. Down there, the blistering, suffocating heat and the pitch black, narrow passengers start choking the pirates. They feel a terrifying sensation, like someone is watching their every move from behind these iron walls. As time ticks by, the pirates' frustration boils over into panic. The Alabama isn't just an ordinary ship. It's a massive steel kingdom of endless corridors, heavy hydraulic doors, and the echoing groans of machinery from every corner. Muse's rage is now through the roof. What irritating him the most is the strange, unshakable calm on Phillips' face. How can this captain be so relaxed in the shadow of death? Muse begins to realize that even though he holds the guns, the captain is the one truly controlling the game. Every few minutes, the pirates hear the sound of footsteps, but when they sprint around the corner with their guns raised, they find nothing but dead silence. The crew isn't just hiding to scare them, they are deliberately trying to deeper and deeper into the bowels of the ship. And then the tables turn. Crew finally gets their perfect opportunity. Separating from the rest of the group, Muse ventures down a narrow passage alone. Taking advantage of the darkness, the crew members ambush him. A short, brutal and silent struggle takes place between the massive machines. His gun is snatched away and the crew takes him hostage. For the very first time on the Alabama, the balance of power had shifted. When the news reaches his partner back on the bridge, the ground slips from beneath his feet. The man who just hours ago thought he was the god of this ship now realizes one of his own men is suffering from crew's captivity. A spark returns to Captain Phillips' eyes. This is exactly the moment he had been waiting for. Now both sides have pawns to play. A strange deadlock grips on the ship. Up on the bridge, the pirates have the Captain Phillips. In the engine room, the crew has the Muse. Neither side is willing to blink fast. At this critical juncture, Phillips becomes the bridge between them. He explains to Muse, "You want money and we want our ship. No one benefits from this fight." Muse tries to put on the ruthless front, but he knows that international navy Navy teams could arrive at any second. He is running out of time, and finally a deal is struck. Muse agrees to save himself and leave the Alabama with the $30,000 case kept in the ship's safe. The crew believes that this terrifying nightmare is finally coming to an end. They prepare to hand Muse over, but there isn't a single wrinkle of relief on Richard Phillips' face. His years of experience tell him that deals made in the shadow of loaded guns never go exactly as planned. The pirates prepare to lower the ship's orange escape lifeboat into the water. The crew hopes that in just a few moments Muse will come down from the bridge and the pirates will sail far away from here. But Muse wasn't the kind of a man to walk away empty-handed or with just a few thousands of dollars in defeat. His bosses sitting back in Somalia demanded millions in dollars, not at $30,000. As Muse is shifted into the lifeboat, Muse's men deceitfully drag Captain Phillips along with them. And the very second Muse steps inside the lifeboat, the pirates open fire on the ship, and suddenly the boat's hydraulic lever is pulled. The crew members standing on the Alabama's deck are left screaming, but it is too late. The lifeboat's engines roars to life. It breaks away from the massive Alabama, speeding into the vast dark ocean. The crew thought their crisis was over, but the horrific reality was that the true tragedy had only just begun, because the pirates had left the ship, but they had taken Captain Richard Phillips with them as a human shield. Out in the open ocean, a small enclosed lifeboat was drifting. Inside it was suffocating hot, intensely claustrophobic, and locked alone among four bloodthirsty pirates was an American captain. Moses has completely sensed the scope of the game. This was no longer just the hijacking of a cargo ship. This was a direct challenge to the power of the United States government and its navy. Because in just a few hours, the most dangerous military machinery in the world, the US Navy SEAL and massive warships, would be closing in to surround this tiny boat. Will Phillips survive inside this locked iron box, or will a hail of bullets turn this lifeboat into the captain's grave? You will get to see the rest of this gripping story in part 3. Until then, hit that like button on this video, comment down below with your absolute favorite scene, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring the bell icon, selecting to all. This way, whenever a new video drops on this channel, you will be the very first to get notified.